Yeah, hi Keshav. So I think today we were looking into the
Hello.
ETL process of Snowflake, like how Snowflake is helping data teams across the world, across different industries, streamline the data, and then you can directly get insights and directly build charts and dashboards into it. So uh, happy to have you here. Can you just give a just and light, what we'll be working on today?
Yeah. Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Keshav from Syntalix, and today we are gonna have a look at Snowflake, how Snowflake is helping us create multiple ETL pipelines so that we can load our data and look into the analytics automatically and not be more into the technical part and just the like we can create data apps now with a little knowledge of the technical part. So let's have a look about what like how the things work and let's just keep it moving, right?
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah. Can you give a explain like what is ETL
Yeah, so I
process?
will just show you some slide for it, and let me explain you what ETL is. ETL is basically a major part of data which is being in a boom from like last 5 years now, and it basically means it is not that complex as it sounds. It basically means extract, transform, and load. There are two types of pipelines. It may be a ETL or it may be a ELT. ELT means extract, load, and transform. So today we are going to create an ETL pipeline, which is extract, load, and transform. Extract basically means we fetch data from some place and we then store it somewhere. So basically, extracting data means we get some data from using an API or using scrapping data, and transform means we are going to clean the rows and like removing the null values and validating the data. These are some of the transformations that we will use and that people use basically. And another step, like the last step, is loading the data somewhere where it can be used by the data analytics team or by the data scientist. So this is how an ETL pipeline works, and data engineer is responsible for this ETL pipelines, right?
Yeah, Keshav. So let's not waste time and directly jump into Snowflake and uh, directly do ETL in real time.
Yeah, and let me show you what we are gonna do today, and let me show you the workflow that we are gonna create, or the ETL pipeline that we are gonna create today. So basically, what we are gonna do is create an Snowflake stage where we can save our CSV files or the data which can be used to create some tables in the raw schema. Schema in Snowflake is basically creating like a group of tables or views that so that their data can be isolated from other schemas, right? So we will ingest the data into the raw schema, then we will apply some transformations and validations, which will be making the data more reliable for the data scientist or the one who are creating the dashboard. So in this video, we are only the one who is creating the dashboard though. So let's and that data that which is being transformed will be saved into the analysis schema, and that schema data will be used to create an stimulate data application, which will be very interactive. So let's just keep it going. And what is the most important part about this pipeline is we are going to implement CDC, which is change data capture. And what exactly change data capture is, it tracks the changes on the like source, and it keeps it reminds it, and whenever we gonna need to the data and the changes that are made to the data, it can be carry forward to the destination from the source right away. So it basically reads what changes are being made to the source so that we can implement the live data capture thing. Okay, so let's just get to Snowflake. I just created an fresh account, and yeah, we will go to our workspace and create a new workspace for our project.
Yes, Keshav.
What we are gonna do is we are gonna create a new workspace for our work, and we will go for an SQL file. So Snowflake allows us to code in multiple languages that may be SQL, that may be Python, that may be Scala, Java. So these are some of the languages that Snowflake allows us to code, and we will name this file as a customer, maybe a sales data project, and let's just keep it doing the thing. And Okay, we will choose our like the role to be account admin so that we don't have any issues with the permission part. So let's just use account admin as the role, and currently we are using compute WH, so like compute warehouse. Warehouse is basically the computation power that was provided by the Snowflake for us to run the queries over their platform. So the default warehouse is called compute WH. So currently we are using compute WH right now. Yeah. We can create our own warehouse too that will be created that we will be creating now using the current warehouse, right? So let's just keep it moving and create a database for us. Uh, I will run in this query quickly and create a database, right? Our database is called will be called customer pipeline DB, and this is some of the comment that will be added to the database so that we remind the part, right? Okay, so the query is run, and it is as simple as that. This is how you use in Snowflake workspace. So let's just keep it moving, and we will create the two schemas that we already that I already saw shown you here, like the raw schema and the analysis schema. So let's just create these schemas and start the actual working of the pipeline, right? So we are what we are going to use is we gonna use the database which is we just created. So this is our database that we just created, and we are gonna run this command to use this database right now. So that like our current database becomes the customer pipeline DB. If you are familiar with SQL or another DBs, so you must be aware of this part and like using a database and creating a database, right? So let's just create the schemas. As you can see, the command is like being run properly, and these are all being seen here. If we face any error, they will be like shown here. So also we have another feature in Snowflake to monitor the queries that we run. Here it is, and we can have a look at the query history, right? So here are some of the queries that we run, and they are all succeeded. So let's just keep it moving, and let's go back to our workspace so that we can finish our ETL pipeline. Okay, so here we are. We created the schema part. What we are going to do is, as I mentioned, we will create our own warehouse, which is the like computation power. So let's just create our own warehouse for yeah. What we are going to do is now we are like, as I mentioned, we will create our own warehouse, which is the like the computation power. So I have this command to create the warehouse. Let me just paste it here. I will explain you. So there are several bands in which you can create the warehouse. There are several sizes. So it may be extra small, it may be small, it may be large, it may be medium. So this depends on how much the computation power you need for your warehouse, and how complex tasks are you being like performing. So this using this command we will create the warehouse which is called customer WH, and auto suspend means when if we do not use the warehouse, or like we don't run any commands till 60 seconds, it will automatically turn off. As you can see, the query run perfectly, and we can now see our warehouse here. See, customer WH. So we are using this one now. So let's just keep it moving, and now we can use this warehouse. We can use it by the UI too, but we have a command for it too. Using this command, we will be using our own warehouse. So you can see it's activated now. So let's just use our schema now and create a table as we discussed. Use schema raw as we named it. Now we are using a raw schema, and what we are gonna do now is create a file format. So file format is basically used to like since we are using a CSV file every time, so we can just uh, keep the whole the code part, and we are it provides us code reusability basically. So let's just create, and let me just explain you what exactly file format is. Whenever we're going to use the copy into command into our table, we need to provide the file format which includes like the CSV, if it is like how it is separated, how the lines are separated. So this if we create a file format, we can easily reuse the code as we load the data, right? So let's just run the command and create the file format in the raw schema. As you can see, the query is being run properly, and let's create an stage that we were talking about in the this pipeline that we talked about. And we can see here is an snowflake stage in the which we are on also going to create in the raw schema. So let's just run the command and quickly keep it moving. Using file format my CSV format, because the files that we are going to load are going to CSV, which is already being defined in the file format. So let's just run and create the stage. This staging area will work as an intermediary state where we can like store the data before loading into the table. So this is how it's gonna work. And let's just manually load the data into uh, the stage. We will go to catalog. As you can see, here is a catalog thing where you can see your older like all the databases and the schemas that you have already created. So we can see our database is being created here, and we can also see the schemas that we created, the analytics schema, the raw schema. As you can see, we created a stage here, and when the file format we also created is present here, the my file for CSV format. So this is how catalog works, and let's just go to my stage and load some data. We need to enable directory table and add files. We are gonna add the files from here. We will provide the files in the description, right? Let's just load this data into the stage. And now we can use the CSV to create the tables in the raw schema. So let's just move to our workspace again. We can run a single command to check the my stage and what are the files that were being loaded in the my stage. Let's just run this command and we're gonna know that there are three files: customer data version 2, customer data version 3. These are the three files that are already being created in the uh, stage, my stage that we created just now. What we are going to do is now create the table that we were talking about in the like raw schema that you can see here. And the raw schema we are going to create a table which will be used to gather the data that is being present in the CSV file. So let's just create a table. As you can see currently, these all are being added as strings. So what we are going to do in the transformation is validating and transforming the like typing the data so that it can be pulled into the like the analysis schema. Okay, so the and like the final destination table. What we are gonna do is copy the data into the customer data raw, which we just created, and from the staging area. So this is what we are gonna do, and we are gonna load the customer data CSV first. I will have let you have a look on what we have in the customer data raw. Okay, so let's just run the customer data raw and select command, and we will see what was already present in the CSV file so that we can check if the data is being loaded in the table or not. So as you can see, there are 5 records already that are being loaded into the raw data, and so the next part we are going to do is apply the transformations and create a table in the analysis schema too. So let's just create the analysis schema table, and then we will like do the further part so that we can uh, create the pipeline and complete the pipeline. So see, you can see the transformations that are being applied here. You can see it is being converted to data. The date is being converted to year, month, and the date, and it is named as sign up date, and this is how it's gonna work. So let's just run this command and let the table is being created. This is not created now, and we can see what data is present in it. So data is being loaded into the like other file. This is what we did manually, but we are gonna implement it with a CDC, or like uh, it is gonna load the data automatically itself. So let's just keep it doing, and I will let you know in the future and like in the further videos. So what's gonna happen? Now, what we are gonna do is set up a stream. A stream in a Snowflake is used to capture the changes in the data that are being created. So let's just create the scheme on the raw data table that we created first, and we will capture the changes that are being created, that are being made to the table, and the changes that are made to the table will be pulled to the analysis table. This is how it's gonna work. So our stream must be empty for now, because we have not made any changes to the data. So let's just check if our stream have any data loaded now. It only loads the data when changes are being occurred to the data. So it's empty right now. So what we can do is now create a task which loads the data from the stream towards the analysis table, which is like we will schedule a task to be run in every minute. This will result in live data capture, right? So let's use the schema analytics and create a task. What this task basically does is it checks if the row is already present in the analysis schema, then it doesn't add it. But if any updates are made to it, if any new records are added to the stream, it will automatically fetch the things and push it to the another table in the analysis schema. So let's just run this command and create the task. As you can see, the task is being created. The task is named as customer data task. And then let's just resume the task and see how it works. So as we have resumed the task, what we are going to do is, so let's make a change in our raw table and load some data from our version 3 of CSV, which includes around 20 records. So which should be pushed over the analysis table. Maybe we need to wait for 1 minute, or maybe it's just being done. As you can see, the 20 records are being pushed automatically into our like analytics table. So our current pipeline till the schema is being done, and I guess we should move to Streamlit now. So let's just go and move to Streamlit. We can go to our uh, projects, and we can see Streamlit here. Streamlit is basically an way or a feature which will provide us a way to create a data app or a dashboard. So let's just create a data app. Just name this app customer data app or sales data app maybe. We can choose a database to be our new database which we created, we were working on. It was a customer pipeline DB, and the schema can be selected as raw, and our compute should be customer WH. So let's just create it, and so as it opened our app and created an example Streamlit application for us on a like data, and this is how the data looks like. So what we need to do is change the code according to our dashboard that we need and the data that we are following right now. So let's just erase the whole code and start from beginning so that we can create the dashboard as we want it to be. So what we are going to do is write our own code, which we start with importing the libraries. So this is a Python file. So importing is pretty easy, I guess. If you know the basics of Python, this is pretty easy, that we include the Streamlit, which is in a library for like which is the basic library which we'll be using to create a data app, and we will include pandas for the data analysis part. So let's just add one more thing, uh, which is the like Snowflake part, and we will create a session using this library. So let's just include this one to get active session, which will help us like connect to the which will be the connecting point of Snowflake and the Streamlit application that we're creating. So following ahead, we will add a session which we will be creating using the function we just added, which is the get active session. So session will be created like this. And now what we want to do is with our application should have a title. So let's just add a title, which will be customer analytics dashboard, which will be very easy and clear to be stated as a title. So let's just add the title here. And I will continue with, okay. So this will make it more appealing. This will be the part or like this one in the example app. So let's just keep on building the app. Now what we're gonna do is like we need a data that we will be working on. So let's just add the data part, like the analytics table that we need to add it in, and convert it to data frame so that we can query it using the pandas library. This is how we're gonna create it. Session.table. Session will be helpful in like connecting with the Snowflake account and then grabbing the table that we'll be working on, which will be analytics with the is the schema part, and customer data is the table name. So we'll convert it to pandas and it will work as a data frame now. What we gonna do is apply some of the transformation and uh, get some important metrics that could be added in the dashboard. We will add this part in the dashboard and see, now I'm going to explain it to you. The total customers part will be, we will getting it from the table only. We got the data frame now, which will include all the data. So this will make it pretty easy for us to now understand the whole code and generate the dashboard for us. Till now, it's just, we can have a look at what we created till now. Let's just run it and we can see this is the part which we just created, and it's fetching the data very pretty clear, and it's working. So let's just keep on moving and complete the dashboard. Under this we can create, like we are gonna add a line so that we can leave some space between the graph that we are gonna include in it and the actual matrix part. So this will add a line as markdown and some subheadings and a graph we will include here. So you can have a look at the code that will help it to, I will include the uh, documentation link for the Streamlit application, so I can like explain you the whole code here. You may have a look at the documentation part and got to know about how the things work in a Streamlit application, how they are created properly. So we are missing some part here. Okay, one more chart I want to add is the top customers that we currently work with, and it will include the topmost expenditure that are being made in our application in our sales type table. I think we are good to go. And one more thing we can add is we can show the raw data in our dashboard too, so that the customer will will be more eased to see the data and get the dashboard information very clear. Yeah, we are done with the dashboard part, and now we can run it. And now you can see the whole dashboard, how it looks, and this is how it works. You can see these are the top expenditure that are being made by customers in the sales table. So and you can also have a look at the raw data here. So this is how we completed the pipeline, and as we make changes in the raw table and add new records, it will be like it will change the whole dashboard automatically. So this is how it will work. What we let's just recall what we actually did in the whole pipeline process, and I'm going to show you where it all started and what we ended in the last. Let's just open our workspace and I will show you what we actually did. Let's just go to catalog though, not the workspace. Workspace only include the code part. So we just created our raw schema, and in which we got a stage where we loaded our CSVs, and we are gonna like we took these CSVs into our raw table, and which we created here, the customer raw table. This table will be is being used and transformed and validated the data, and the data is being typecasted, and then it is thrown or pulled towards the analytics table that we created in the analytics schema. So this table customer data. It includes the data which is being used by the Streamlit application to grab the information, and then we created the app visible here. So let's just go to our Streamlit part, and we can see the app here. It What it does is it grabs the data that is being pulled by the analytics schema into the dashboard. So that this dashboard changes as the raw table changes, and the raw table changes the analytics table, and analytics table changes the dashboard. So this is how our pipeline works.
Okay, so like this was the only sales data. Let's say if I have the marketing data or the data from the operations or the product data, and they want to visualize, let's say in different manner. Currently, you are showing line chart. Let's say I want to do pie charts and all. So how's that possible?
Yeah, these features are also available in the Streamlit documentation. You can have a look at them, and you can create more interactive dashboards than me. And it totally depends on your like creativity and how you're gonna show the data. So this is how you're gonna do it.
Yeah, I think, thank you, Keshav. I think we covered most of the things, including CDC, TL, and how to see the data on the Streamlit. The visualization are pretty good and beautiful. So I think this will help our viewers and to understand about this Snowflake.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity to show the features of Snowflake that are pretty good at showing the data and analytics.